Boleh tunjukin semua orang nggak, Mas Bayu? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Sudah kedengaran ya? Sudah kedengaran.
Yeah, good morning, Bu Ani.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for coming. I think we will start the opening ceremony now. Oh yeah, I would like to inform you that the General Secretary, Professor Ainun Naim, PhD, he will join us at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, so Mas Bayu udah siap ya? Sudah ya? Okay, very good morning to you all. I'm Luh Anik Mayani, the Center Director of Simeo Kitab in Language. Today, I will chair the opening ceremony on the online training on teachers' competence improvement. First of all, I would like to extend a very warm welcome and regards to our honorable guest, Professor Ainun Naim, PhD, the General Secretary of Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia. Ibu Evi Mulyani, PhD, the Head of Public Relations and Cooperation Bureau, the General Secretariat, Ministry of Education and Culture of Republic of Indonesia. Dr. Ita Agnes Pascua Valenzuela, the Director of Simeo Secretariat, and the directors are the representatives of Simeo centers in Indonesia. Mr. Alfa Amirahman, PhD, Center Director of Simolek, Dr. Sul Hamzah, Deputy Director of Administration, Simeo Biotrop, Mr. Mukhtaruddin Mansur, PhD, Center Director of Simeo Rekfon, Dr. Sumardiono, Center Director of SIKIM, Ibu Lili Indarti, the Deputy Administration of SIKIS, and also Pak Rizwan Darmawan from SIKIS, Dr. Dwi Priyono, Center Director of Simeo Sesep, and also Ibu Elis Rosdiawati. Mr. Patrick Lodge, the founder of Altissia, Sikil partner for this online training. Last but not least, our other guests and our beloved participants, 600 teachers from Southeast Asia who are streaming this opening ceremony from YouTube live channel. It's a very great honor to have you all here in this opening ceremony. Thank you very much for your time and your presence today to support Simeo Kitab in Language to carry out one of its programs to promote the quality improvement of language teachers in Southeast Asia region. Our honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us start this opening ceremony by hearing the national anthem of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya, Simeo Colors and Simeo Song to respect our diversity as well as to strengthen our sense of belonging within Southeast Asia countries. Mr. Bayu, please. Our respected guests, ladies and gentlemen, now please let me inform you the overview of the online training on teachers' competence improvement program. Simeo Kitab in Language, or SIKIL, always strives to carry out various programs to promote the quality improvement of language teachers and education personnel in the Southeast Asia region. One of the program is a training on professional competency improvement for foreign language teachers, which is planned to be held regularly started from this year. On this occasion, SIKIL collaborates with Altissia, a trusted language learning organization founded in 2005 by academics from the Université Catholique de Louvain, Belgium. On this online training, SIKIL focuses on improving the professional competence of language teachers in Southeast Asia, especially for English, German, and French language teachers. By using Altissia learning platform, SIKIL aims to create an effective language learning experience for each participant as the materials are adjusted to their level of proficiency and the learning needs of the participants. Our honorable guests and participants, this online training has attracted 1,881 applicants across Southeast Asia countries. However, the total numbers of selected participants who are given the opportunity to join this online training are only 600 teachers from 8 countries, namely Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, the Philippines, and Vietnam. Unfortunately, there were no applicants from Laos, Singapore, and Timor-Leste. The numbers of participants from Indonesia are 147 teachers, from Myanmar, 137 teachers, the Philippines, 134 teachers, Malaysia, 24 teachers, Vietnam, 20 teachers, Brunei Darussalam, 7 teachers, Cambodia, 5 teachers, and Thailand, 2 teachers. From the language learned, there are 476 teachers who are eager to improve their proficiency in English. 73 teachers are interested to improve their competency in German, and 51 teachers choose to elevate their language proficiency in French. All participants will join this online course for a 3-month period. Based on the Common European Framework of Reference for Language, or CFR, it is expected that each participant could improve his or her proficiency for minimum 1 level. The level is, of course, measured or analyzed based on the placement test, the pre-test, and the post-test. At the end of this program, SIKIL would like to map the language proficiency of foreign language teachers in Southeast Asia. And further, the result can be used to conduct survey, for example, on the relationship between teachers' language proficiency and the success of the pedagogical or teaching learning process in foreign language classes. Mr. General Secretary, Dr. Ito, ladies and gentlemen, please let me inform you additional information about SIKIL Priority Program 2020-2022. During this period, we would like to actively promote Indonesian language in Southeast Asia countries through Indonesian as a foreign language program, to extensively develop teaching methodology of strategic foreign languages, namely Japanese, Arabic, German, and Chinese language, as well as to participate in strengthening the Asian community through cross-cultural understanding in language teaching in Southeast Asia country. And we also would like to promote bilingual education by using mother tongue as language of instruction. For the Indonesian as a foreign language program, starting from this August to October 2020, we would like to organize webinar series on Indonesian as foreign language. Cross-cultural understanding in language teaching will be conducted through language festival and promoting reciprocal diplomacy among Southeast Asia countries by translating all skill products into English and other official languages of Asia: Malay, Thai, Khmer, Burmese, Tagalog, Lao, Vietnamese, and Tetun. Finally, please allow me to express my sincere gratitude to the General Secretary of Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, Professor Ainun Naim, PhD, for his continued support to SIKIL. To Dr. Itel, the Director of Simeo Secretariat, for her never-ending smart and thoughtful guidance and assistance. To our beloved colleague, the Board of Directors of Simeo Centers in Indonesia, for their kind, warm-hearted advices and support. For Ibu Evi Mulyani, PhD, for her sincere attention and active collaboration with SIKIL. Last but not least, to the founder of Altissia, Mr. Patrick Lodge, who is willing to cooperate with SIKIL to conduct this program, and of course to our beloved teachers who are highly motivated to join this online training. Thank you very much to you all. Dearest guests and participants, the next agenda is the introduction about Altissia platform delivered by Mr. Patrick Lodge, the founder of Altissia. From his presentation, we hope that you all could have a comprehensive understanding on our decision to choose Altissia as our partner. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Patrick Lodge leads some companies in 5 countries: in Belgium, North Macedonia, Indonesia, Luxembourg, and Singapore. His goal is building digital solutions of all kinds, always with a good goal in mind, using cutting-edge technology to meet clients' or users' needs, and driven by desire to run people-centered company in a highly motivated and involved team working with mutual respect and trust. Mr. Patrick, please, time is yours.
Thank you, Ibu. Thank you very much. So maybe what I can propose to you is to share some documents, some presentation. It's okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so I will maybe close this one. Do you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please.
So do not hesitate to interrupt me if you have a question or if something is not clear or if you don't see my screen.
Will do.
Okay, thank you. So you see the blue presentation, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So I will spend a bit of time to introduce myself, to introduce Altissia, and what we're doing these last few years. So Altissia is a Belgian company. So I'm from Belgium. I speak French. By the way, if you want to invite me in French-speaking workshop, I would be very happy to assist. So it was created in Belgium in 2005 by a teacher in the University Catholique of Louvain. So today, what we propose is tailor-made project. So Altissia propose a methodology combining e-learning and also project management. What you see on the screen is a brief introduction about the company. The company is quite small, so we have around 150 people working around the world. Most of the people working for Altissia are linguists, scientists, people from the university, and also, of course, IT people to develop the platform. We have around 6 million users, active users now in the platform all around the world. And we are mainly active in Europe, of course, in North Africa, in South America, and North America also. So we have branches all over the world, and we develop projects with different institutions there. I will explain how later. So it's a different-sized company. We are flexible, dynamic, and international. The different logos you see on the bottom of the screen are some examples of the project we do in the world. So for example, the first one called Walang, it's a project we made with the government of Belgium. So, you know, in Belgium, we speak 3 languages. We speak French, we speak Dutch, and we speak German. So in Belgium, language is very important. If you want to find a job in Belgium, you have to speak at least 1, 2, 3 languages. Otherwise, it's very difficult to find a job. So Walang is actually focusing on the south part of the country. And the purpose of the project is to give access to every citizen of the south part of Belgium to e-learning, to learn languages, to give a chance to people to find a better job or to have a better CV. Okay, so it's a collaboration between the university, between Altissia and the government to improve the overall, the global level of language of the region. So it's targeting 3.5 million citizens. The next one is Brulingwa. It's a project we made with the city of Brussels, the capital of Belgium. In Brussels, we have a very high unemployment level on the young population. So we developed a project with the city of Brussels to give access for free to all job seekers in Brussels, so they can learn language and they have a better chance to find a job. So it's also a very how can I say, a very big project we made with the city to allow the citizens to improve the level of language. The next one is the CNED. CNED is actually like Universitas Terbuka. It's like the online learning of the French Ministry of Education for all French expat kids. They can follow the French program using CNED. And everything regarding language is done by Altissia. So we collaborate with the Ministry of Education of France to bring all our knowledge in language to the CNED program. And the last one is the most important one, because this is the one who is looking more similar to what we are doing. It's the Erasmus Plus program. So Erasmus Plus program is a very important program in Europe. It's a scholarship program for all students in Europe to, how can I say, to encourage all the students in Europe to travel around Europe to learn new languages. So it means that when the students go abroad to study, in their package, in the scholarship package, they receive an access to Altissia to improve the level of language of the target country. So if a French student goes study in Spain, he first has to pass a test in Spanish to see his level in Spanish, then go study in Spain, spend 1 year, 2 years in Spain, and when he comes back, he has to pass a test again. So the European Commission can do statistics about the performance and the success of the program. So we have hundreds of thousands of students using Altissia in the Erasmus program today. And it's already been almost 7 years we run the program with the European Commission. On top of the screen, you see the main language we have in the platform. So there's We have 22 languages today in the platform, but the main language we have are Portuguese, English, Italian, French, German, Dutch, and Spanish. But we also have Greek, we also have Romanian, we have many languages from Europe also. So this slide is very important because the history of Altissia is very strongly linked to the university. The very first version of Altissia was created by a teacher to teach Dutch to the French-speaking students in the University of Louvain in Belgium. Okay, so this program was created by a teacher, and the teacher he made the first version, and it was a very big success. So he received a lot of support from the university. And the program became bigger and bigger. And then it became a company. Some private capital came, and Altissia became what we call a spin-off. It means that it's a business coming out of a university work. So today, the University of Louvain is still in the capital of Altissia. And the university is still developing all the material inside Altissia. So all the methodology, all the science behind Altissia is made by the language center of the University of Louvain. Okay, so this is very important because Altissia has a very strong academic background, and you will see if you use Altissia on a regular basis, it is much more than something you use to learn the basic of language. You can use Altissia to become fluent, so it goes until C2 actually, until the fluent level in all languages. So this is the team of Altissia. Most of the people you see here are linguists, scientists. They develop the methodology, they develop the platform. We have the IT guys there developing the mobile application. So it's a very, very dynamic team based inside the campus of Louvain. So they are based in the campus of the university, and they are working together, very, very close together with the language center of the university. So that's the vision of the company, but I won't go too deep into this because I have a limited time, so I will go straight. So who we are, so what kind of project do? We do three kinds of projects: business project, education project, and institution project. The business project is with companies. So we have among our customers, we have Coca-Cola, we have Caterpillar, we have SAP. So these companies, they actually come to us to implement a global project inside the company to improve the level of language of the whole company. So basically what we do is to give access to every employee and run a program inside the companies to accompany all the employees and make sure they work inside the platform and they improve the level of language. The education is all universities. We have many universities around the world collaborating with us to implement language program inside the university. So we work with other language centers, including in Indonesia, with, for example, Panchabudi in Medan. We work with Unpri in Medan. Also, we collaborate with UGM, with different universities in Indonesia to implement language program inside the cursus of the university. The institutions is when we collaborate with governments. The different example I showed you before, Erasmus, Brulingua, Walang, these are typically institutional projects. So we collaborate with governments to implement projects for a certain kind of population, okay, a city, a region, a province. It's very oftenly included in political projects because of unemployment level, because of economic problem. The institutions wants to address this problem of unemployment by improving the level of education of the citizens. So they call us to implement large-scale language program to leverage the level of language of a region, of a city, or of either a country. Today, we're still negotiating a collaboration with the government of Canada. So the idea is to implement Altissia for every citizens in Canada to teach either French and English. So to support the whole population to master both languages. Okay. So what's important in Altissia, it's important to understand that Altissia is a combination of two things. It's a combination of a platform, it's a system, but also with a methodology. Everything you'll see in the platform was designed and developed by the University of Louvain, following a very specific methodology. The methodology, one of the principle of Altissia is spiral learning, for example. So it means that when a student use Altissia, the first thing you will see is you have access to everything. We do not limit the students to a certain lesson or a certain level, because we think that to learn a language, the first thing you need to experience is the music of the language. So you, even if you don't speak French at all, maybe you want to listen to native people to see what's the music of the language. This is how babies actually learn languages. They first listen to their parents and they try to mimic what the parents are doing. So when when a child starts speaking, actually it doesn't really understand what he says. It just repeats what's the parent, and it's just repeating what is listening. So the principle here is the same, is immersion, to make sure that the students have access to a quantity of material so they can pick a certain subject. So the spiral learning is this: quantity first. You pick a subject depending on your interest, depending on the moment, depending on your mood, and you listen you listen the subject, and you do some exercise, and you start over again. So 1, 2, 3. Travel around the language. 1. Take a subject, listen to the subject, make some exercise, and then pass a test. 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you start over again. This is what we call the spiral learning. Okay, so the combination of the platform and the methodology is very important. So today I said to you that we have the main language we have are the 7 most spoken language in Europe, but we also have 22 other languages like Greek and Romanian and Swedish and many others. So the rest of the presentation will focus on these 2 elements, the platform itself and then the methodology around the platform. So the platform is composed of different things. We have a lot of material, basically. So this is one of the main concept of Altissia. The platform is improving every day. We have new content every day. We have a lot of collaboration with newspaper, TV channels, news channels, and they feed us, and they feed the language center of Louvain of a lot of news. And the language center of Louvain, they create lessons. They create lessons based on these news. Okay, so every day you will connect to Altissia, you will see new content. So news, video, and article are published every day in every language. So I said 7 here, but we have 22 today. In every level, that's very important. From A1 to C+, to C1+, you will find what you need to improve your level of language, whatever your level is. Basically, this is very important. It's of course unlimited access, 24/7, because everything is online. We have a very strong adaptive level test inside the platform in every language. Adaptive means that the test is adapting itself to your level. So if you are a very advanced user, the question will become more and more complicated, more and more difficult. If you are a beginner, the test will adapt itself to your level. So to make sure that you go until the end of the test. Okay. And at the end of the test, you have a very complete and very comprehensive report about your different skills. Writing, listening, speaking. So you will have a lot of definition and a lot of explanation about your different level. And you will have a lot of guidance about the subject you need to improve, your weakness and your strengths. We also have, of course, all the general clusters, vocabulary, argumentation, grammar, pronunciation, everything is included in the platform. And we have much more than that today. Over 80 modules, professional modules now are inside the platform, from banking, from retail, engineering, science, how can I say, tourism. So depending on your career path, you will find everything you need inside Altissia to improve a specific vocabulary. And last but not least, it's multi-device. So it means that you can use a laptop, you can use a phone, you can use anything. You just connect to Altissia and start learning. You don't have to install anything. It's very easy to use. So what we use inside Altissia is the CEFR standard. So the CEFR standard was created in the 90s to have a common scale across Europe to compare levels across different language. So this way, in Europe, we can issue regulation. I would take an example. If you want to work in Europe, you have to be B2. So, but the regulation doesn't specify the language. You can be B2 in French, in English, in Spanish, in Italian. As long as you are B2 in something, you can come in Europe and you can work. Okay. So this is why we had to develop a common scale. The CEFR is an open standard, so it means that it's free. Anybody can implement this standard in his product, so you don't have to pay for it. At the contrary, for if you take other system like TOEFL, TOEIC, all these standards are protected standards. These are patented standards, so you have to pay for it. And it's only focusing on one language. CEFR is multi-language. In Altissia, if you are interested in CEFR, we have a lot of documentation explaining what is CEFR, what does it mean to be A1, what does it mean to be A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So we have a lot of documentation about that, so we can share with you guys if you are interested. Just about the sentence on the bottom of the screen. So we made a lot of studies on the students using Altissia. And we discovered that 60% of learners taking course on Altissia progress by at least half a level every 31 hours, okay? So make your calculation. Depending on the time you spend per week, the time you spend per day, as long as you spend around 30 hours in Altissia, you should progress half a level every 31 hours. So this is how the platform looks like. So you can use Altissia using a web browser. You can use Altissia using a web browser in the phone, or using a mobile application, or using a desktop. And you can find all the different level and the different lessons inside the platform very easily. I can share with you maybe later a tour of the platform, but it's very easy to use. So we have a guided tour also I can share. You can learn every language. One of the main principles of Altissia is also we give access to everything. So there's no option that you don't have to pay anything if you want to learn another language. In Altissia, if you want to learn 7 languages at the same time, you can. We never saw anybody doing that for now, but if you want to learn 7 languages at the same time, you can just switch from one language from another. Okay. So in Altissia, you can practice all the different skills: listening, reading, speaking, and writing. For the speaking skills, we have a speech recognition system that tests the pronunciation. So it's not a conversation platform, of course. So we still collaborate with the teachers to implement a different program. But for the other abilities, actually everything is included in the platform. So this one is very important also, data. When we collaborate with the institution or university, we share a lot of data. We know exactly what the students are doing in the platform. So from these data, we actually analyze everything, and we use this data to, how can I say, to adapt the strategy and to make sure the project is running well. Okay, so as what you see on the screen here is a list of students, for example, with the level. You can also see the time they spend in the platform. We manipulate this data to create some statistics to, for example, extract the average level of a group. In many institutions, we isolate different groups. You can isolate the groups, the beginners, the advanced students, the very advanced user, and implement different strategy for these different groups. Okay, so this is something that we basically discussed before when we start a project with an institution. We discuss together about the strategy. What are the different? What is your population? What are your targets? What do you want from Altissia actually? What are you looking for? Do you, I don't know, do you want everybody to pass a TOEFL test? So it means that everybody needs to reach a certain level like B2 or C1 before passing the test. So this is the kind of targets and the kind of, how can I say, targets that we can fix at the beginning of the project. But to do that, to control a project, we need data. So it means that we need to know exactly what the students are doing in the platform and how they feel and how they use the platform. So here is another example. On the left, you see, for example, the statistics of one student. You see all the exercise, you see all the answers. The green color means that they answer correctly. The red color means that they didn't answer correctly. So it means that for every student, you can analyze the strengths and the weakness of every student and maybe help them to, or suggest them to work a certain skills. So maybe they should learn more about vocabulary, or they should work more about grammar, or they should do more, I don't know, more reading or read more news. So you can guide the students because we can extract a lot of data. That's another example. Every student, they have their own dashboard, that they can have their own statistics. They see the time they spend in the platform, the number of exercise they did in the platform, so they can follow and follow what is suggested by Altissia, because we have a suggested learning path depending on what the students is doing in the platform. Altissia will suggest the students to do this or that, and they can follow this in their own dashboard. This dashboard is an example. As a teacher, this is a teacher view. So the teacher can view his different class, and per class, he can have statistics for every student in the class. Okay. So it means that you, as a teacher, for example, we could create a class for you, and we can group your students in class, and you can monitor your class. And for every class, you can see what the students are doing. Okay. So all your students are not mixed in a big bag, but they are very well ordered and sorted in different groups. So you can have a very, can I say, pragmatic approach about the way you're teaching your classes. Okay. Here you see different classes. Forum is the job seeker government institution in Belgium. And you see there different classes with students and the time they spend in the platform and different information like their level. And if you click on every student, you will see more information. So you can have a very detailed, information about your students, and you can help them to improve the level. So that's a social media we acquired a few years ago. So it will be included in Altissia in the future. I show this because one of the objectives of Altissia is to try to multiply the activities inside the platform. So we try to make sure that the students don't get bored in the platform. So they can listen to some news, they can see some video, they can read articles, they can do exercise, they can chat with foreigners. So they have a lot of activities inside the platform. Means that and for each activity, we follow the time they spend in the activity, and it's taken into account for their to calculate and to prepare their suggested learning path. So that was about the platform itself. Okay, so that's the technical platform, the IT platform. Now the methodology. So in the methodology, what we used to implement with our customers is we try to build a communication plan. So if you want to communicate with your students, we can accompany you, because communication is very, very important for students. Students need to understand what they're doing, what is Altissia, and why we use Altissia. So we can share different information to your students. We can share different information to you to make sure that either the management, the teacher, and the students are on the same page, because this is the key of a successful project, is to make sure that there's no misunderstanding about the targets, no misunderstanding about why and how to use the platform. So we used to prepare some communication plan, and we have a constant communication with our customers to guide them and to share our experience with other institutions about how to communicate this to students. Usually we do things like this. So we do kick-off sessions. We explain what is Altissia, who we are, etc., etc. The real-time reporting is important too, because all the data I mentioned before will be shared to you as a teacher or as a manager to adapt the project among the time. So based on the length of the project, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, we will share the data with you, and we will try to make conclusion based on this data. Okay, should we do more this? Should we do less this? Or should we try something else? Because every customers, every institution are different. So every project basically is different. And most of the time in this project, we used to implement a motivation plan. So we try to organize and participate to events that you do with your students to make them excited about the project, to make sure that that they have more than just have to read a book or to read or to use the platform. Maybe I can participate. If you have activities in French, this is what I said in the beginning. I would be very happy to participate and speak French and explain about my country and share my culture. That's something we try to do as more as we can, so we can have a direct connection either with the teacher and the students. The follow-up meetings are a status meeting. So we share the data and we share our experience. You as a teacher or you as a manager, you probably will have comments. You will have remarks, or you will want to change something about the way we manage the project. So this is an opportunity to share about our experience and to maybe adapt the project to the population, to your population. Customized login page is something we can do, so the students, they see the logo of your institution instead of seeing Altissia. Altissia can be used as a white label system, so it means that the students, they see your institution and not us, because they don't know Altissia. Maybe Altissia is not a very well-known company. So most of the time, the students or the employees or the teacher, they see the logo of basically the institution, so they feel more comfortable with that. And of course, in the global project management, we have the e-learning platform I just mentioned before, but everything is included. So these are some questions people ask me in Indonesia. This is typical question I have in Indonesia. Altissia is not a language school. We don't have teachers. What our mission is to make sure the students use the platform as much as possible, because they should have everything they need in the platform. But our mission is also to collaborate with the team, because a system, an IT system, will never replace teachers, of course. So Altissia is a supplement. It's a complementary system. So it's something that you add on top of something else. Okay, so it's a methodology. Altissia is covering 22 languages and used to deals with large institutions. Yes. So we don't address students per students, but we usually collaborate with large institutions, 1,000, 2,000, 100,000 students. Our mission is to improve the level of language of a large group, not to take care of one student. This is more the students. This is the teacher's job. We cannot do that. So in Indonesia, specifically, maybe you know institutions like LIA, EF, TBI. These institutions are different. They propose allocation and teachers, but it's not the same model.
Mr. Patrick,
Yes.
your time is
Okay.
yeah, maybe 2 more minutes. Thank you.
I'm done. The last thing I would say is that we have a very detailed documentation to compare CEFR with international standards like IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC. We have a lot of documentation explaining that where if you are B2, you will have certain level in TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, whatever. Okay, and that's the end of the presentation. Okay. Merci pour votre attention. In French means thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. So we hope that teachers, after taking this course, they do not only leverage their proficiency level, but they will also experience challenging learning process and also innovative learning process so that they can implement the technology used by Altissia also to their students. Thank you, Mr. Patrick.
Thank you.
Our respected guests and participants, now let me invite Dr. Ethel Agnes Pascua Valenzuela, the Director of Simeo Secretariat, to give her welcoming remark. Dr. Ethel, please, time is yours.
Honorable Professor Dr. Ainun Naim, Secretary General of the Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, our dedicated and dynamic KITEP in Language Director, Dr. Luke Anik Mayani, Mr. Patrick Lodge, the founder of Altissia, who provided a very comprehensive introduction of the methodology they are using of 22 languages. Salamat pagi. I am pleased to join you in this pioneering online training on teachers' competence and improvement, which you will be running from today up to end of October. Congratulations. I think that we come together using a different platform, online training, during the time of COVID-19 crisis. As we all know, over 191 countries have already closed the schools and some are slowly coming back from pre-primary to higher education due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And since then, since March, most teachers and schools have to use different modalities for training and for meetings, such as the use of distance learning, virtual learning, training, home-based learning. But for many of our teachers and our children, they don't have access to this technology. Simeo, since many years back, over 10 years, have introduced online trainings or blended learning modalities, even when schools are functioning well. But today, we are increasingly challenged of this lockdown, where 1.6 billion children of the world's total population had experienced education disruption. We at the Simeo Secretariat and the centers have managed to contribute by joining the world, the Global Education Coalition for COVID-19 response. And our share is to continue learning, to continue helping the teachers and children to promote learning anytime and anywhere. We are joining the world to build back better education. But how can we enable children to learn during the crisis, especially on foreign language? There is one solution, and Kitab in language really knows this, and that is by bringing quality learning and training through our teachers. They say that learning is possible with quality teachers, not just technology, but the quality of our passionate and dedicated teachers. Our goal in this training is to tackle the competence of teachers, to improve their competence, and using many solutions and platforms that we have thought of to bring learning into the houses or into the classroom. Well, let me say that in order for us to have a quality online training, we need to consider many aspects. We can strengthen effective teaching through professional development practices, and we have 600 teachers here who have joined us from 8 member countries. We can develop and empower teachers to share innovation using the platforms provided by Mr. Patrick, and also to maximize this training platform to generate innovation using exemplary teaching strategies during this period of pandemic. We can then reach as many teachers and learners as possible. We need to continue to address the issues of training, such as how to promote inclusive learning and workforce distribution. We encourage Kitep in language to reach out to far-flung areas and to continue to reach the region in their capacity building 100% simeo. So maybe the next training programs would have all member countries joining Kitep in language. We need to contribute to build the mass of qualified and motivated teachers, leveraging on your expertise. During the training, I encourage Kitep in language to create a team-based approach using or partnering between and among countries that you promote team-based learning and to draw on the development on broader education, workforce, learning together for a better community of practice. I am sure you can all do this. But most importantly, bear in mind that we need to offer instructional leadership training programs and to reorient school leaders as well on the new normal and the new teaching requirements. Many literature have been said about the role of school leaders in improving the competencies of teachers. So it should be at least two-way, that we also reach out to school principals, to the head teachers, and also the teachers. Let us support teachers and school principals as they create training programs from them. So we're expecting that from training in KITEP, there will be a lot of project, training, and for them to go back to their own community and to the bigger Simeo region to align leadership and competencies improvement at all levels. There are so many things we can learn from each other. And now with the COVID-19 crisis, we have offered more remote engagement and remote learning. Viewing this on YouTube will reach out to as many teachers, and congratulations, Kitep in Language, for this innovation, for trailblazing again an online training program for our teachers so that they can improve their competencies. I wish you all the best in your conference and your training, and please stay safe. Sawadee ka, terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ita, for giving us insights on the importance of distant learning during this pandemic and also the role of Simeo, as well as the role of Simeo and KITAB in language to improve the quality of teachers and to empower teachers in Southeast Asia countries. Thank you also for your advice so that SIKIL develop other training programs, not only for teachers, but also for school leaders or education personnel. Thank you very much, Dr. Ita. Our honorable guests and participants, we are now moving to our main agenda, The opening remark and presentation delivered by Professor Ainun Naim, PhD, the General Secretary of Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia. Professor Ainun Naim, please, time is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Our honorary guest, Director of SAMU, Dr. Ito, and also directors of the SAMU centers, all the participants of this training, of the 600 teachers, and ladies and gentlemen. I am happy to be here with all of you, celebrating the opening ceremony of the online training on teachers' competence improvement. We, the Ministry of Education and Culture, welcome, appreciate this program. This program is a fact and also evidence that we are committed to ensure that our educational services are sustainable. We commit to sustain our educational services, even though there is a problem of virus pandemic now around the world. We keep our educational services going on. We are also happy that we can contribute to the SAMU programs. Currently, we have been managing 7 centers of SAMU in Indonesia. First, of course, centers in language, math, science, tropical biology, open and distance learning, nutrition, and also public health, and early childhood educations. So I think we have quite so many activities to support the SAMU programs. Ladies and gentlemen, language is very important, and improving the competence of our teachers is also very important to maintain that we have good quality of education. Indonesia has an important experience with regard to language. As you know, Indonesia consists of so many subcultures with so many local languages. There is a study, and there is so many people write and say that Indonesia can develop like this until now, since the beginning, even though we have so many subcultures and local languages, because we have one language, Indonesian language, so that we can keep the unity of Indonesia, and we can develop Indonesia. Language is very important, and so that teaching languages is also very important. And we say here that one language is not enough. We have local language, we have mother tongue, and we have a national language. We have global language that we have to use for global communication. And this is the background why we set up and we run CMO centers in language. Now, why we need multi-language? We need to be able to communicate using more than one language, because we need to do global communication. We need international understanding as global citizens. And there is a sense of interconnectedness between countries and populations. We need to acquire new knowledge, new culture. As we see now, and the development of knowledge, science, and technology come from many places around the world. And to keep and to improve our competence, we have to acquire the knowledges. We have to be competent in certain science and technologies that coming from around the world. And language has an important role in this issue. And of course, we need quality education, strengthening our cooperations, building inclusive knowledge societies, preserving our cultural heritage, and also foster tolerance and respect. We have a principle. Among of our principles is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. It means that we are very diverse, but we are united. Yeah. And we also understand and committed to live in the global area, global era, and to be a global citizens. So that's why we need multi-language competence. Now, to be competent in languages, so we need language education. We need multilingual education. This is to have international understanding of global citizens. With multilingual education, we can see that the use of three kinds of language in education. For example, the mother tongue, regional or national language, and international language. In our life in Indonesia, on average, I think at least we are, or people in Indonesia, learn and speak at least 2 or 3 languages. In parts, I think can be more. They speak local language with their friends or families, and they speak national language in works, in formal events, formal communications, and in international events or life, we use English. So many of us learn at least 3 languages. Then multilingual education based on the mother tongue in the early years of schooling plays a key role in acquiring new knowledge and fostering respect for diversity. The mastery of language skills is needed to create a high quality language learning along with pedagogical competence. Then provision of professional competency improvement training for foreign language research teachers, provision of effective language learning experience for teachers, and regional or global standard of achievements of learners' proficiency of foreign languages. In Indonesia, we have policies in education, which many of them are in accordance with the SAMIO priority programs. This is including promoting technical and vocational education and training, revitalizing teacher education, and adopting a 21st century curriculum. With the current situation where there is a pandemic virus 19 that force us to use technology, force us to use online technology, study and work from home or any other area remote one with another. We keep and we exert our attempts to improve our competence in using the technology so that we can keep sustaining our educational services. To end my speech, again, I would like to express our appreciation to SAMIO and also SAMIO Centers in Language, and also from the institution Alisitas, Mr. Patrick Locke.
Yeah, Altissia.
Yeah, Altissia for
Okay,
your participation and contribution to this event, and also for the participation from all of the member countries in this training. Thank you very much and enjoy and get the benefit from the training. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Secretary, Professor Ainun Naim, PhD. Thank you for sharing with us the importance of multi-language education, especially mother tongue, regional, national, and even international language in education. Your remarks strengthen one of our priority program, which is promoting bi or multilingual education by using mother tongue as language for instruction. And thank you very much also for informing us the Indonesian policy adjustment due to the pandemic COVID-19. Thank you very much, Professor Ainun Naim. Ladies and gentlemen, respected guests and participants, now it is time for me to wrap this opening ceremony. Once again, I would like to thank the General Secretary, the Director of SIMIO Secretariat, the Board of Directors of SIMIO Centers in Indonesia, the Head of the Public Relation and Cooperation Bureau, and to all other guests and beloved participants. Thank you very much for your kind attention and participation during this time. For all committee, I would like to thank your hard work for organizing this event. Hopefully, we are all stay strong and healthy and consistently improve the quality of teachers and education personnel in Southeast Asia countries. All the best to all great teachers and best wishes. We wish you a very good luck on your online training. Thank you very much once again and have a good day. Our honorable guest, please, we now will have a photo shoot session. Could you please turn on your camera for this session? So, okay. Yes, please turn on your camera and I'll count. Yeah. Yeah. On my count, 1, 2, 3. Could you please once again turn on your camera, ladies and gentlemen, our guests? We will have a photo session. Yeah, sudah Mas Bayu. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And once again, 1, 2, 3. Cukup ya? Okay, thank you very much once again. And we hope you have a very good day today. Thank you very much. See you other times. Thank you.
It's time to rise to a bright and promising future. We'll rise to the call of the times and create a stronger tomorrow. Let's start to make a difference, teaching everyone to learn through science, health, and technology. We will share our expertise by promoting knowledge and policies. We can build a better world. We'll achieve our goals through partnership, creating opportunities.